A terrifying force surged from beneath the Pacific Ocean on Wednesday as an 8.8 magnitude earthquake struck off Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula, one of the most powerful quakes in modern history. Within minutes, tsunami warnings rippled across the globe, triggering mass evacuations from Japan to Hawaii and even Chile. Waves measuring up to 4 meters crashed into Russian ports, while aftershocks continue to rattle the region. Though the feared catastrophe was largely averted, the quake's sheer scale was a dramatic reminder of nature's raw, unpredictable power. Scientists now warn more tremors may follow. But how close did we come to a disaster? That's the focus of our next report.
It began with a jolt beneath the sea deep off Russia's wild Kamchatka Peninsula. And within minutes, it felt like the Pacific was holding its breath. A massive 8.8 magnitude earthquake, one of the strongest ever recorded, struck on Wednesday morning and sent tsunami waves fanning out across the globe. Like ripples from a stone dropped into an ocean the size of the Earth itself. From Japan to Hawaii, Chile to Alaska, sirens blared. Alerts flashed across phones and more than 2 million people scrambled for higher ground.
I heard the tsunami warning at work as my workplace is by the beach. My coworkers told me to come home because I have a small child, and she was waiting at home, so I came to pick her up.
But now the fear is fading. Tsunami warnings have been lifted across the Pacific, and millions are returning home but rattle.
We're just waiting for the authorities to allow us to return. We have several boats with us out there. We're not the only ones circling in the bay. There are fishing boats. There are sailboats. We are relieved. The sea is relatively calm.
Russia was the one who took the first hit. In Severokurilsk, a small Russian port town, 4-meter waves surged through streets, flooding a fish processing plant and smashing boats against the shore. Another video from a Kamchatka hospital showed doctors in the middle of surgery as the building swayed, but they didn't flinch and the operation continued. Now, the quake shook so hard it triggered the eruption of Klyachevskoye volcano, which lit up the night sky with glowing lava and roaring explosions, as if the Earth wasn't already speaking loudly enough. The quake's power launched tsunami waves at the speed of a jetliner. Racing across the Pacific and Hawaii, traffic gridlocked as people fled the coast. Then, in Japan, memories of 2011's horror flooded back as nearly 2 million were told to evacuate.
I was very scared when I heard the news. The warnings were for all over Japan, so I was frankly scared. It happened in Russia in the north. I was surprised how it traveled all the way down the Pacific Ocean.
Even Fukushima's nuclear plant was temporarily evacuated. And in Chile, authorities launched perhaps the most massive evacuation in history.
We took precautions for the owners who have homes here on the coast, considering all the information regarding the tsunami and for what can come. We're taking some precautions, as this zone is usually affected.
This quake now sits tied for the 6th most powerful ever recorded, on par with the 2010 Chile earthquake and the 1906 Ecuador disaster. However, scientists say it may even be revised upward. A violent subduction event where the Pacific plate slid beneath the North American plate caused a seafloor rupture perhaps 300 miles long.
Kamchatka Peninsula is situated in the area where 2 geological plates collide. So, there are 2 oceanic crusts that are diverging at speed of 8 meters per year, as I remember. That's why it is to be expected and it is predictable that earthquakes happen in this zone of subduction.
while only one death has been reported, that of a woman in Japan who drove off a cliff while fleeing. The quake's true scale will take days to fully understand.
Actually, there are already some studies showing some preliminary results of this earthquake. So right after that foreshock, like slightly towards south, there is epicenter or starting point of today's magnitude 8.8 earthquake.
In fact, already dozens of aftershocks have followed. Including one of magnitude 6.9, the U.S. Geological Survey warns of a 59% chance of a quake, above 7.0 in the coming week. So, as the last of the tsunami advisories fade, and coastal towns breathe a collective sigh of relief, the message is clear. In a world stitched together by shifting plates and deep oceans, no place is too far from disaster. Because on Wednesday the earth cracked, the seas rose, and the world was jolted. But this time, luck was on our side.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karjo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
Yon todo do idioma.
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select the language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.